Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Guang Hao. The article that I located concerned recent climate change in Australia. Apparently, there are 261 scientists specializing in fields encompassing climate, fire, and weather science have written an open letter to Australia's leaders asking to make deep cuts to greenhouse gas emission. Upon looking at the comment section, I noticed that Killjoy's engaging in ad hominem abusive fallacy in one of his comments. The structure of his argument is as follows. These scientists claim that greenhouse gas emissions should be reduced in order for climate change's impact be redressed. By questioning how many of these scientists are actually climate scientists, Killjoy attacked the claim makers of this claim rather than the claim itself. He concluded that because not all of these climate scientists are actually climate scientists, they have no authority to claim that the greenhouse gas emissions should be reduced. On the facts, instead of attacking the structure and truth of the claim of these scientists, Killjoy discredited them simply by stating the fact that not all of these scientists are climate scientists, and those who are not climate scientists do not have the right to claim that greenhouse gas emissions should be reduced. It is logically fallacious because these scientists don't guarantee the validity or soundness of their claim. Furthermore, just because they are not climate scientists does not mean their claim is wrong. Consequently, Killjoys are intentionally engaged in ad hominem abusive fallacy. I'm sure everyone here today is locking themselves in their home because of the coronavirus. Just a few weeks ago, I'm sure everyone had noticed that people started shopping in bulk and stocking up to avoid going to public places. I read an online Facebook post the other day. The author of the post was really strongly feeling what was happening at the time. In the meantime, I also noticed that the author was unintentionally engaged in an appeal to emotion fallacy. The structure of the argument is as follows. According to the author, shopping in bulk must be wrong because there are people out there who cannot afford to shop in bulk and have small weekly budget for groceries. There are people who have limited mobility and can only shop once a week or fortnight when they have a career with them. There are these people who are affected by these are the people who are affected severely by people selfishly clearing the shelves. As it can be seen that the author argues that imagine how sad it would be if shopping in bulk is not wrong. As it can be seen, the argument of the author falls from assertion, emotional appeal, and conclusion. However, there is no evidence presented. Furthermore, how sad it would be if shopping in bulk is not wrong has nothing to do with the fact that if shopping in bulk is wrong. As a result, the author was engaged in appeal to emotion fallacy. I went on the Gold Coast Bulletin room chat room the other day where I found my third written fallacy. The content is there was a pregnant woman smashing bottles on people's head at 3 a.m. in the morning. The author assumed that all mothers of feral kids behaved in such manner. This clearly reveals the author was engaged in hasty generalization. As can be seen that the structure of the argument is as follows. There was a pregnant woman acting in disturbing manner on the street at midnight. Based on the judgment of one person, the author assumed that all mothers of feral kids acting the same way. It can be seen that the author reached a conclusion that all mothers of the feral kids behaving the same way as the woman who acted in a disturbing manner. However, in this case, the sample size was too small that introduces bias and reduces representation. Based on the judgment of only one mother, the author cannot guarantee that all mothers of the feral kids act in the same way. There could be others who behave differently. Therefore, the author unintentionally engaged in hasty generalization fallacy. My fourth written fallacy was found on Gold Coast Bulletin chat room. The author was engaged in fallacy, observed a positive correlation between both shoplifting without having conviction recorded and shops being boarded up on Gold Coast. Then the author concluded that shoplifting without having a conviction recorded causes shoplifting being boarded up on Gold Coast. It clearly reveals that this author was unintentionally engaged in a confusion of correlation and causation fallacy. Can be revealed that the author has concluded that shoplifting without having a conviction recorded is cause of shops being boarded up on Gold Coast because they are regularly associated. However, there is no evidence to prove that shoplifting without having a conviction recorded and shop being boarded up as equal potentially due to coincidence. As a result, this author unintentionally engaged in confusion of correlation and causation fallacy. Does the Me Too movement sound familiar to anyone? It is a movement found by Tarana that aims to help survivors of sexual violence and find pathways to healing. This video is about debate on Me Too movement. On the opposing side, we have Dave, who is against of this movement and is also one who unintentionally engaged in a slippery slope fallacy. According to Dave, if she says that he sexually assaulted her, then he will lose his job. If he loses his job, then he will lose his income. If he loses income, then he will not be longer be able to support his boys. Therefore, if she says that he sexually assaulted her, then he will no longer be able to support his boys. As it can be seen, Dave concluded that if a woman says that he sexually assaulted her, then this will lead to a chain reaction resulting in an undesirable end. However, there is no evidence that this cause of events will happen. If a woman says that Dave sexually assaulted her, this does not mean that Dave will eventually be no longer to support his boys. Consequently, Dave unintentionally engaged in slippery slope fallacy. Thanks for your attention, ladies and gentlemen.